This is Module 2 of API SIRE training course, Source Inspector Rotating Equipment. In this module, we shall be covering body of knowledge and scoring areas, an area of examination, and reference documents. In this module, you shall learn about pre-qualification and area of examination, API SIRE, reference study materials, our e-learning modules, and some exam tips. The API Source Inspector Certification Program is one-of-a-kind certificate for rotating equipment between certification bodies. That is, there is no other similar certification developed by any other organization in the world. It gives a complete overview of package inspection management of rotating equipment. It qualifies individuals who perform the important task of supplier quality surveillance. This is a potential exam question. Your role is quality surveillance, not QC, not QA, not inspection, not examination, quality surveillance. The source inspector has been defined as an individual who is responsible for examining fabricated and manufactured equipment and materials at a supplier's facility, confirming that the supplier's quality management system is being utilized effectively. So at the end of the day, the equipment that is manufactured is as per the purchase order and specification. API SIRE Source Inspector Rotating Equipment primarily focuses on obviously rotating equipment such as pumps, gears, compressors, turbines, and associated appurtenances such as lube oil, seals, gearbox, etc. Pre-qualification and area of examination. No pre-qualification education experience is required, so you can just apply to API for this exam and pay the fees, and they will send you the authorization to attend the exam with a link to Prometrics Test Center to reserve a slot for you within the 3 weeks window that you have selected. This is open to all applicants with any experience in petrochemical or petroleum industry, as well as applicants wishing to gain industry experience. The exam is 3 hours 15 minutes long, and there are 110 questions, of which 100 are scored. The remaining 10 are pre-test or experimental questions are not scored. Scored, non-scored questions are shuffled and unmarked, so you need to answer all questions. All questions are multiple choice and closed book. Paper and reference materials are not allowed into the examination. Although exam scores are scaled in order to standardize the level of difficulty, they call it scaling. You are required to answer roughly 70 scored questions correctly, 70%. Minimum 400 on a scale of maximum 500. The API SIRE covers a wide range of inspection activities, codes, recommended practices, and standards, and you are scored for your performance in the following areas during the exam. On basic source inspection, number of questions are 19. On inspection, reference documentation 18, manufacturing process 18 questions, inspection tool and equipment 10 questions, method of examination 19 questions, final inspection and testing 16 questions, total score 100. Reference study material. The following standards and recommended practices need to be studied for API's SIRE examination. 578 PMI, and please note the edition number. You have to study this edition, and the publication effectively changes every year, and they add or new documents or new editions, and they are in red color. 610 centrifugal pumps, 611 general purpose steam turbines, 614 lubrication shaft sealing, 617 axial and centrifugal compressors, 618 reciprocating compressors, 619 rotary type compressors, 677 general purpose gear units, 692 dry gas sealing system, H-high 14.6. This is all the pumps and compressors and turbines are tested according to this. So this is a very important document for any rotating equipment inspector for performance acceptance test, SNTC1A, personal certification for NDT, ASME Section 2 materials, ASME Section 5, non-destructive examination. Only these articles 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 23, which are general requirements, radiography, MT, PT, UT, and LT, liquid test, leak test. ASME Section 5, pressure vessel construction code, Division 1, ASME Section 9, welding and brazing qualification, the welding section only, STM 703, steel castings and quality standard for steel casting, SSP 55, SSPC, just the titles, what each one means, and very basic cleaning and the surface preparation, what each one means. Unfortunately, you have to remember them. As you can see, it touches a wide range of subjects that a rotating equipment inspector should be familiar with, although not as an expert with an in-depth knowledge. API provides a very useful guide for SIRE that covers all the possible activities for inspection management of rotating equipment. You can download the study guide for source inspection, quality surveillance of rotating equipment for free from the link below. We have also highlighted this document, brought it in our e-learning course, and also explain them in detail in another modules. Our e-learning modules. The following modules are presented during our e-learning course. And Module 1, exam and study tips. The current Module 2, scoring reference documents and exam tips. Module 3, guide for source inspection and quality surveillance of rotating equipment. And Module 4, it covers materials, casting and coating. Module 5, ASME Section 2 materials. Module 6, Section 5, non-destructive examination. Module 7, NDT personal certification, SNTC1A. Module 8, ASME Section 9, welding qualification. Module 9, pressure vessel construction code, ASME Section 8. And then PMI is in Module 10. And then, as you can see, the following Module 11 is about centrifugal pumps. Module 12, general purpose steam turbine. Module 13 is lubrication shaft sealing. Module 14 is axial and central centrifugal compressors. Module 15 is reciprocating compressors. Module 16 is about rotary type compressors. Module 17 is about gear units. 18, dry gas sealing systems. Module 19, rotodynamics performance test. Module 20 is highlights of all the publication effectivity sheets. Module 21, flashcards, which should be treated as potential exam question. And Module 13 has all the practice questions and quizzes plus 3 sets of mock exams. We do also have a hybrid or blended learning, which includes the present e-learning plus a classroom training. That would be 4 days, and our course itinerary on day 1 will cover exam and study tip, inspection management, equipment criticality, metallurgy, manufacturing, test, PIM, pre-inspection meeting, inspection test plan, project quality plan or package quality plan, QC procedural reports, purchase order, non-conformity report, punch list, inspection release, manufacturing record book, manufacturing data book, safety, API standard 610 and 617. On day 2, we cover API 618, 19, 14, 77, 682, 14.6, 703, and MSS 55. On day 3, we shall cover all the ASME, such as ASME 2, 5, 9, 8, SNTC1A, and SSPC. and then we review important questions within course material mock exam. On day 4, we completely dedicated to question and answer sessions, review of questions, and mock exam. Let's see some exam tips. There's no negative marking. Answer all the questions. You can increase your chances by striking off the obvious wrong choices. To do so, hold the mouse on the answer you think is wrong and right click, and this will strike them off so you can zoom in on the possible right answers. It's multi-choice. API never uses terms such as none of the above or all of the above or both A and B or B and C. Some questions are very simple, like asking for symbol of magnesium or manganese, because you should see meal test reports, these abbreviations. It's 195 minutes for 110 questions, so roughly it's around less than two minutes per question. But don't spend more than a minute on each question. If you can't answer it, just flag it off and go to the next question. And solving the doubtful question, try to understand as why a particular answer is right, and why the others should be wrong. So use power of deduction, and also read the question very carefully. Sometimes a wrong answer is quite a valid statement, but it's a wrong answer simply because it's either not relevant to the question or the question asked is in negative form, not. So it's very important that you carefully read and understand the question. So API does not mean to confuse you by providing irrelevant information. They want to know whether you can differentiate between relevant and irrelevant information in an actual scenario. Some questions are solely based on your experience as an inspector, and API calls them practical type of questions. We have brought lots of information there, so that can cover if you have any lack of experience during your study plan. And API wants to verify your understanding of principles and theory, interpretation and evaluation, and how you can apply them. So mere memorizing the facts and figures of study material does not really help, because they bring the question in a context or a scenario. Few questions may come from API study material, but most comes rephrased. So it's very important that you have a clear understanding of concepts and fundamentals. And time management is not normally an issue if you use your time wisely, but please remember that time using the toilet or want to go out to drink water, it means you have to check out and again check in and go through the same security check, or you want to comment on any question, or it's all coming off your allowance. So try to keep a steady pace. For example, after 1.5 hours, you should be at question number 55, and allocate around 15 to 20 minutes to review all the flagged off questions, so that you make sure you answer it to the best of your knowledge. And there might be a question that might be partially right and answer, but remember that you choose the best answer. That's what API expects you to do. Thank you for listening. See you on the next module.